Hi, it's Maxine, Kaye, and Yoga from the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living in Paoli, Pennsylvania. I'm very happy to be connecting with you as Reverend Mike, and I so appreciate these opportunities where we get to speak with you, listen to your hearts, even though you're not right in the same room with us. It's just a beautiful way to stay with you during these times that we're not yet all physically together. I want to ask you this. How are you doing? Really? How are you? I know it's been a long time. Our hair shows it. Even yoga's getting pretty long. We've been keeping our wits about us pretty well, haven't we? For the most part. These are the most unusual times that probably any of us have ever dealt with. How are you doing? Are you taking good care of yourself? Are you allowing yourself some respite from all the noise that's going around within our own heads and within the world itself? Are you realizing that the COVID-19 is something that nobody asked for, none of us created, and yet here it is, and look how beautifully overall that we've been dealing with it. We're very fortunate if no one in our immediate lives has been touched by it, but oh, so many people have. And it can be exhausting. We can get compassion fatigue. You know what I mean? Compassion fatigue for caring so much and feeling as though there's not much we can do. Well, there is. But while we're looking to see what is ours to do, let's realize that one of our top priorities is taking care of ourselves. Finding that time to just, go do something you want to do instead of sitting on your mother's lap all the time. Getting enough rest, eating good, nutritious food, talking with people you love, even if you can't be in the same room with them, opening our hearts to each other, telling what is so about how we're feeling that day, what kinds of frustrations there may be, what kind of confusion and upset we need. Oh, she's back. Thank you. I'm not sure what she needed to do, but I'm happy that she chose to do it. Finding ways that we can be supportive of ourselves in order truly, honestly, authentically, and successfully to be of service to others. Yoga understands that there are times that she needs to go do her thing, and there are other times she needs to just snuggle into somebody's arms who loves her. Well, this is the most important thing I believe that we can do in caring well for ourselves, and that is to just dive deeply into our heart space, where we always find that loving presence that adores and cherishes us. Remember what we can hear in that heart space when we become still. Thou art my beloved one, in whom I am well pleased. We can sink deeply and frequently into this sacred space where there is no care and there is no concern, and we allow our inner sense of wholeness to begin to come forward. So the COVID-19, it's up, it's down, there's some opening, there's some going too fast, there's not going fast enough, depending upon who you may be communicating with. But there's so many unknowns that, again, we get to dip deeply into that intuitive knowing within us, which is the voice of God within us, and follow that wise counsel. What is mine to do? What is appropriate? What is wise? What is good? So as we're dealing with this and becoming so flexible as we have over the months, and so willing to be moved by grace, we also have another great infection. It is an infection. It is systematic racism. And thank God the voices are now being heard after hundreds of years, after a little fix here and a little help there, and passing this policy here and another edict there. We're finally coming to a point where it is so evident to so many of us that something needs to change. And so again, we can be overwhelmed with trying to do too much and trying to do it in such a way that we make everything right overnight. We can't do that. We haven't been making things right for a long time. And that's because we didn't know. Many of us simply weren't aware. Everybody is awakening. This whole humanity is awakening to what? To its spiritual magnificence. And while we're awakening to our spiritual magnificence, we're also taking note of what isn't right in the world. And finding that incredible, beautiful, creative, intelligent, loving power within us, joining with others of like minds to find exactly what is ours to do. We can't be like Don Quixote, getting on our horse and riding off in all directions. It's important to maintain some focus. And God has to be the main focus. We have to keep the main thing the main thing. So while we're dealing with this epidemic and that epidemic, and truly it is that, we need to remain centered to the best of our ability, and that means taking care of ourselves. And then finding what our gifts are that we can give to the world, that we can join with small groups, larger groups, lifting our consciousness, helping others to be inspired and to rise up to a higher level of awareness too. It's a great opportunity. We're living not only in interesting times, but we're living in powerful, life-transforming times. Let's begin by being good to ourselves, by diving deeply every day, often throughout the day, into that loving divine nurture. Doesn't that feel better? So let's stay in touch. Let's remain open in our hearts and minds to each other. Let's allow ourselves to let God be God in us and behold that divine presence within every person that we see. And in our hearts and in our prayers, lift everyone in the world to wholeness, to health, and to psychological, mental well-being as well. And for justice to be the norm. This is what we're working toward. And we're doing it together. No one is doing it alone. No man is an island. We're all connected. And we're all connected because each one of us is a beautiful emanation of the one life, God's life. And that's where all the solutions are. Thank God for that. So please join us tomorrow morning, Sunday morning at 10:30 for our live stream. And Reverend Mike and I join our small but powerful production crew right there at 16, Suite 16, where we used to meet together, remember? And the day is coming when we can do that again. But in the meantime, we're being wise, we're being compassionate, we're doing the right thing. Join us in the live stream. All you need to do is go to our website, which is cslphilly.org, and click on the link that will take you either to YouTube or it will take you to Facebook. And you can join a lot of other people who are coming on to our live stream. And we start with a beautiful musical prelude, and then we go into just a wonderful celebration of life. Please come and be with us. And if you have a little time afterwards, watch the number that's given to you on the screen when you are tuned in to our celebration, and it will tell you how to come into our Zoom social time following our Sunday celebration. It's a great opportunity just to talk a little bit about what the topic has been, to share what's going on in your lives, to look at each other, see our faces and hear our voices and feel so connected. I love that we can do that right now. And on our website is also an opportunity for you to make a contribution. And there's a donate button for you to do that. And we thank you so much, so very, very much for how you have been keeping us thriving in the best possible way in these very challenging times. But nothing's too big for God. We know that. God's bigger than everything, right where we are. Thanks for being with me today. Come and be with us tomorrow. We love you. We care for you. Please be good to yourself. Thank you.